Hello, welcome to From Beyond. I'm your host, Joey Travolta.
Monsters from mad scientists, the product of atomic mutation, all excite our imagination, inflame our senses, corrupt our souls. The Earth has always been vulnerable, a fat sphere waiting to be plucked by beings from other planets, other galaxies, just as prehistoric monsters and terrifying creatures have threatened mankind.
We are the survivors of a disintegrated solar system. At this moment, the remainder of our fleet is circling your globe. Arrange for your world leaders to confer with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Pearson. We bring you this special radio television broadcast in order to give you the very latest information on an amazing phenomenon. The arrival of a space ship in Washington. The Army has taken every precaution to meet any emergency which may develop. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think something is happening.
Monsters from other worlds can sometimes come in peace. A robot, Gort, is the apparent monster in 1951's cult masterpiece, The Day the Earth Stood Still. This alien visitor reflects a Christ-like benevolence.
I came here to give you these facts. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Without you, what could he do?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the Earth.
All vehicles, close in. Let's go.
Mars Attacks the Earth in 1953's adaptation of H.G. Wells's famous tale, War of the Worlds.
This could be the beginning of the end for the human race. For what men first thought were meteors or the often ridiculed flying saucers are in reality the flaming vanguard of the invasion from Mars.
Looks like they're going to come out of that gully pretty soon. We'll have to rush our defenses to be ready when they do.
Guards need plenty of reinforcements.
We'll get them. Lieutenant, look!
They slash across country like scythes, wiping out everything that's trying to get away from them.
That explains why communication is cut the moment their machines begin moving.
Montreal's blacked out. Nothing more's come through.
Same thing that happened on the Pacific coast. Anything from them yet?
No, Mr. Secretary. We've had nothing from San Francisco for over 5 hours.
The nations of the world mobilize their armed might, rushing to defend the Earth against the unknown weapons of the super race from the Red Planet. Is there nothing that can stop the Martian death machines?
Guns, tanks, bombs, they're like toys against them.
We know now that we can't beat their machine. We've got to beat them.
All over the world, human beings cower before the onslaught of these unearthly enemies, whom no one has ever seen. Panic that sweeps around the globe as the great masses of mankind flee blindly in a headlong stampede of hysteria.
This movie returns to H.G. Wells when his time traveler finds monsters in the future in 1960's The Time Machine.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension? You see, we can move in the other three. As the doctor said, up, down, forwards, backwards, sideways. But when it comes to time, we are prisoners.
Inventor Rod Taylor's breakthrough into the realm of the fourth dimension is defied by his friend Alan Young.
If that machine can do what you say it can, destroy it, George, before it destroys you.
What are the people like? Ah, the shape of things to come. It's lovely Yvette Mimieux. And what happens when boy meets girl thousands of years hence?
How do they wear their hair?
Who?
The women of your time.
Up like that?
Show me.
Is this the human race of the future? Or is this the Morlocks, fiendish creatures who live in a weird underground world? And the Eloi, the tranquil sunshine people, who the Morlocks dominate and maintain like cattle, luring them below with the hypnotic wail of the sirens, to feed upon them in cannibalistic horror.
In 1953's classic Invaders from Mars, Martians invade the Earth, abducting people and turning parents into zombies, all under the control of a bodiless Martian brain in a bottle.
Invaders from Mars. He saw them land from outer space. He saw them capture innocent people only to destroy. Father turned against son. People changed into strange, weird animals. A general of the army becomes a saboteur. Trusted police turned into arsonists. The boy's parents changed into killers.
But nobody's getting anywhere out there. Nobody can locate anything, anybody. The Martians, we've got to stop them.
Invaders from Mars, capturing humans at will for their own sinister purposes, turning them into diabolical instruments of destruction. Invaders from Mars, weird, fantastic beings of a superintelligence, ruling a race of synthetic humans and pitting them against mankind's dream to conquer the universe.
Come on, step on it. Search every tunnel. We gotta find Ronaldo and the kid. When the colonel gives a signal, get back here on the double.
In 1958's Queen from Outer Space, a manned rocket ship is abducted from Earth and brought to Venus, a planet ruled entirely by women.
We have some deadly neighbors in outer space.
Captain, it's heading toward us.
And now the story of the fantastic adventure that befalls mankind's most daring crew of space explorers.
A sound. Not even the hum of an insect. Is this a dead planet?
Landing on an unknown planet, they are captured by long-limbed beauties. When they say, "Take me to your leader," and they take them to a creature like this, you know they're on planet Venus. And the queen of outer space is Zsa Zsa Gabor. The most talked about woman in the world knows what she wants on Venus, too.
Then,
We're the only men on the whole planet?
Yes.
Wow.
You'll see the revolt that brings the planet under the domination of strangely masked females who hate and fear the male animal.
Let me kill her now.
You're not only a queen, you're a woman, too. Let me see your face.
The savage horrors of fearsome mutated beasts. The war of the sexes, when voluptuous Venusians give battle to spacemen from Earth. The destructive might of incredible space rays that stop man from returning to Earth.
Prepare for maximum acceleration.
In 1953's Robot Monster, a Martian gorilla in a diving helmet wipes out the Earth's entire population except for one family.
With the swiftness of a deadly cosmic ray, the Earth is invaded by indestructible moon monsters. Their ghastly mission, death for all humans. Robot Monster brings you an actual preview of the devastating forces of our future. Unsuspected revelations of incredible horrors that will terrify you with their brutal reality.
There is no escape from me. Very well. I will recalculate. Your death will be indescribable. Fool humans, there is no escape.
An invisible alien crash lands on Earth in 1953's Phantom from Space.
Time 7:19. An unidentified object was picked up 200 miles southwest of Point Barrow, Alaska. Height 75,000 feet. Estimated speed 5,000 miles per hour. White warning. 7:54. First interceptor flight airborne. Point of interception 80 miles due west of San Francisco, California. 7:55. Unidentified object past point of interception. Red warning. This is the account of a handful of people who, in the course of one desperate night, fought off an unknown, unseen menace from another world. Doubly terrifying because it was invisible.
Is that you, Doctor?
In here by the big telescope. The switch is over there.
An evil female alien with the touch of death protects the innocent people from the underworld in Roger Corman's 1957 The Astounding She-Monster.
This hand points the way to an experience human eyes have never before seen.
Earlier this evening, I saw what looked like a small meteor drop into the desert not far from here.
You mean it could have been a spaceship?
Robert Clark is the scientist caught between vicious gangsters and the astounding she-monster. Here is a power that frightens the deer in the forest, terrifies fearless dogs. A woman so intriguing that her face and figure fascinate every man. The woman whose warmth consumes. But the astounding she-monster is no more to be feared than beasts of our own underworld.
In case you get any more cute ideas, sample of what's doing.
If you're not too afraid, make a date with the woman you'll never forget. A woman impervious to bullets.
A scientist's mind is taken over by a giant floating brain with eyes. In its attempt to take over the Earth in 1957's The Brain from the Planet Aros.
You frighten me when you talk like that.
It's true. I've discovered a power that's going to make you the most feared man on Earth.
This is the closed-circuit television set focused on the test area, isn't it?
Yes.
And these buildings and equipment have been placed in the desert for destruction by the atom blast?
That's right.
Would you all kindly watch the screen? What you've just seen me do to that one small area, I can do to a city, a nation, or a continent.
Gentlemen, I'm convinced I saw him wipe out a city of concrete and steel by some power of mind. And my advice to you and to your governments is to take what this man says as a most serious matter.
Any country I have mentioned which does not have a representative here, present in this room, will find its capital city wiped out.
In 1957's Enemy from Space, aliens invade the Earth and secretly take over the bodies of human beings.
They're coming down by the hundreds. Get hauled.
Listen. Listen very carefully. If you ever hear a sound like this, run for your life. Run. Run before it is too late. For if you stay, you will lose your soul. Coming closer, closer, closer is an enemy from outer space. From out of this world it came, a horrifying terror that threatened mankind, haunting and possessing every human being within range, an indestructible danger beyond all earthly understanding.
Vincent Broadhead is dead. Dead? I watched him die a few hours ago in that plant. His whole body covered with some kind of corrosive poisoning, eaten away.
It poisoned everything it touched. The mind and the body of man was no longer in his control. They ran from this unknown menace, but there was no escape.
We're holding this block. We've got to, at least until the oxygen takes effect.
What's in those domes, mister?
What is it? Kill us. Inside those domes are creatures from outside this Earth.
Ah, you're mad.
I've seen them. Thousands of tiny creatures that can join together and expand into things 100 feet high.
Modern man's most powerful weapons are ineffective against the overwhelming force of a huge extraterrestrial bird that threatens the Earth in 1957's The Giant Claw.
It's got one of the planes. It's coming after me.
Comes from outer space, from some godforsaken antimatter galaxy millions and millions of light years from the Earth.
Atomic hydrogen weapons, capable of wiping cities, countries off the face of the earth are completely ineffective against this creature from the skies.
There it is now. Attacking the United Nations building.
After us, chasing us. How are you doing? For God's sake, hurry, man. It's catching up with us fast.
A peaceful man arrives with a message from space and is greeted with suspicion. The military wants to destroy him, while scientists argue the consequences. In 1959's The Cosmic Man.
What was it, this cosmic phantom, this being, boneless, fleshless, almost invisible, stalking the Earth, leaving panic behind?
Kathy, what is it? What's wrong?
In there, it was horrible.
There's our cosmic man. Like a solid mass, and yet he's not solid. Like a creature made of matter, and yet more like antimatter.
This sphere from outer space, impervious to heat, impossible to move. Was it a satellite sent to spy on Earth? A spaceship? A secret weapon? Science was baffled. The Army ready to accept the challenge.
Radio the base. Have every available man stationed around those atomic plants.
I am here, in the darkness.
I demand you state your business here.
Your demands mean nothing to me.
The future of mankind is threatened when workers unearth a spaceship containing the bodies of dead aliens. In 1968's 5 Million Years to Earth.
Sometime in the near future, when we least expect it, they will come. Cities will burn. Mankind will panic. Our world will tremble. When the invasion from another time and another place begins, disbelief will be shattered, and the truth of an ancient past will be revealed. When it occurs, you will see men turned killers by mysterious power.
I wanted to kill you. Why? Because you are different.
Women will be defiled by the invaders from outer space.
It's Barbara. She's the one.
Scientists will vainly attempt to save civilization.
My duty now is to quieten public alarm. And you keep your damn paws out of things.
It could happen in your lifetime. See it before it's too late.
From murky underwater caverns comes oozing the monstrous aqua beast, slithering beneath the southern swamps, thirsting and hungering for its human victims in 1958's Attack of the Giant Leeches.
In the backwoods of the Everglades,
The boys had only the storekeeper's woman to talk about.
You want something, Cal?
I sure do, honey.
I know how to take care of a woman like you, Liz.
Then, out of the swamp's depths, again appears horrifying, mysterious creatures, thirsting for lovers' blood. What are these giant mutations whose attack on people sends the whole countryside on an endless search?
Whatever killed those people is still in that lake, and it's going to take more than dynamite to get it out.
And then brings them back to life to gratify their distorted desires.
From the cavernous depths of the earth, half-human creatures from a lost Sumerian civilization claw their way to the surface, to strike, to kill in frenzy. In 1956's The Mole People.
Gentlemen, we're in 3000 BC.
To reach this lost civilization, science had followed a trail through burning desert sands, through the roaring avalanches of Mount Kuitara, and finally deep into the bowels of the earth. Not even history had recorded the existence of this unknown empire of darkness.
There is no world beyond ours. If I ever get out of here, into my world,
The world of light and flowers.
will you come with me?
Never before had outsiders beheld such sights. The sacred ritual of the sun death, the blazing sacrificial chambers, the court of the all-powerful high priest of Ishtar.
You will die in the fire of Ishtar.
The blood-lusting mole people storming from their subterranean caverns.
In 1963, King Kong the monster ape is taken from his native South Sea island paradise and brought to the Japanese homeland to engage in the ultimate battle with the king of monsters, the fire-breathing lizard known as Godzilla, where they leave a path of ultimate annihilation in King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Trail of terror to his Japanese homeland.
Captain, water in the conning tower.
Godzilla! Roaring defiance to the only enemy on Earth strong enough to challenge him. The unconquerable King Kong, giant gorilla god of this South Seas paradise, where sensuous maidens offer themselves in ritual sacrifice to his brute embrace.
Godzilla has a brain about this size. He is sheer brute force. While Kong is a thinking animal. His brain is considerably larger, about 10 times the size of this gorilla's skull. Being instinctive rivals, there is no doubt that they will attempt to destroy one another.
King Kong versus Godzilla, heading for their colossal collision, shattering every obstacle that stands between them in the most fantastic rampage of annihilation ever recorded on film. See King Kong stamp Tokyo into the ground, holding a beautiful girl in his grasp. See Godzilla destroy an entire army. See King Kong trapped by the blazing barrier of 1 billion volts. But nothing, nobody can stop the great showdown when King Kong and Godzilla meet to fight for survival of the fittest.
In 1957's Rodan, a prehistoric pterodactyl hatches in a mine and goes on a destructive rampage terrorizing Tokyo.
Supersonic jets cannot catch him. Rockets cannot stop him. Tanks are helpless before him. Even guided missiles are powerless. See Rodan destroy a modern city, leveling it to the earth with a killing airstream of his mighty wings. Nothing can stop him. Nothing escapes this monstrous beast of evil.
From the frozen glacial world, unchanged in 1,000,000 years, a giant insect from the dawn of time is released from its icy bondage, where it's born again to come forth and unleash indescribable fear and paralyzing terror in New York City as it tries to engulf the world as it heads south. In 1957's The Deadly Mantis.
Where are they? Where are the bodies?
Easy. In all the kingdom of the living, there is no more deadly or voracious creature than the praying mantis. You think you'll be able to drive it out to sea? I hope so.
Every device of military science, every defensive weapon, radar, planes, rockets, marshaled to destroy 1,000 units. A monster leaving a trail of carnage, spreading panic across a continent.
Get the alert button. Yes, sir.
Nothing in its path was safe. Not the planes in the sky. Not the ships at sea. Nor the vehicles on the ground.
You boys might just as well go back. There aren't any bodies.
And then this most dangerous monster that ever lived challenged the security of our city.
The first spaceship to Venus crashes into the sea off the coast of Sicily. Its deadly cargo is a fast-growing monster that doubles in size every night and just wants to be left alone, but fights back when it's frightened. In 1957's 20 Million Miles from Earth.
Y-21, which crashed into the Mediterranean Sea on the 11th, was a single-stage, astral-propelled rocket launched 13 months ago from a site within the United States. The rocket, with its complement of 17 men, had landed on the planet Venus.
Venus?
The planet Venus? Some of you may also have heard the story of a monster now confined here in Rome Zoo. That beast is from Venus.
Now for those electric cables. Misericordia!
In 1957's Land Unknown, a naval helicopter on an expedition to the South Pole is forced down in a lost valley of prehistoric animals.
In 1947, the bird expedition to the South Pole reported a warm water oasis deep inside the icy Antarctic. This is the story of another expedition and of what might be found, what might happen today in that remote, unexplored last frontier on Earth. Unchanged since prehistoric times, the land unknown. Could man have survived in the dinosaur age of mighty monsters? Shudder of history's most ferocious killer, Tyrannosaurus Rex. The battle of the great Stegosauri. Huge carnivorous man-eating plants. The incredible water monster, Elasmosaurus.
We'll never get out of here, Alan. Never.
Stop it, do you hear me? Stop it. This doesn't sound like you. We're not licked yet.
That's how I rule them.
Where's the wreck? Talk.
You're gonna rot here.
Cowboys find a valley with prehistoric dinosaurs in 1959's The Valley of Guanji.
And gentlemen, what you are about to see has never been seen before by human eyes.
Professor, there's a big lizard back there, and he's heading his way. Now get aboard!
It's Spears! It's Spears!
young prehistoric monster that is caught in the sea and brought to London is rescued by its mother in 1960's Gorgo.
Catapulted from some vast sub-ocean cavern by unprecedented volcanic action. And the headlines scream the story of the reckless skin divers who captured the monster and put it on exhibition.
Stop! Stop! Drop the net! What do you think you're doing? Okay, take it easy.
I can't let him go back to the sea where he belongs.
Why?
Maybe to save their silly skins for you.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to see Gorgo.
But the headlines do not record the story of a little boy who had a curious sympathy and understanding for the fantastic creature. What strange secret does he know that scientists only suspect?
You trying to say there may be a fully grown one of these things around somewhere? How big would a full-grown one be?
An approximate guess. The infant. The adult.
That would make it nearly 200 feet tall.
Wreaking terrible vengeance against the civilization that has captured its offspring. Nothing can stop it. Defying the force of the Army. The might of the Navy.
Line number 1, Harry. Ready to open fire, sir. Fire 1.
Even the fury of the jets. In a crashing...
A giant prehistoric turtle threatens the Earth in 1966's Gamera the Invincible.
Gamera, the super monster that even the H-bomb cannot destroy. Gamera the Invincible.
Attention everyone! Take cover!
Gamera, consuming raw atomic power. Power to destroy entire cities.
Open fire!
Man's most destructive weapons have no effect on Gamera the Invincible. The mightiest nuclear weapons ever devised are powerless against Gamera the Invincible. Is humanity doomed? Will the world be destroyed? The United Nations is called to emergency session in a last desperate effort to save the world.
We have one plan that we think might work. We have discussed Plan Z with the Japanese authorities, and they agree it is the best of our alternative plans. Is that correct, sir?
That is so. Plan Z is hope of the world.
A cast of thousands at the mercy of the most terrifying monster that ever lived. Brian Donlevy as General Arnold.
Is beyond comprehension. He must be stopped now.
Albert Decker as the Secretary of Defense. Will Plan Z stop Gamera? Gamera, the Invincible.
The following report to the Royal Geological Society is a true and faithful account of events that befell the Society's expedition in Manchuria. I must accept responsibility for its ending in disaster.
A prehistoric man-like monster is found frozen and comes to life while being transported by rail from Asia to the West in 1972's Horror Express.
What was in there?
I told you, a fossil, part ape, part man. It lived 2 million years ago.
Take a ride on the Horror Express. Positively the most blood-chilling thriller ever conceived. Siberian tundra, the Horror Express rampages towards its destination of doom. See the dead come alive in a living howl and terror on a non-stop ticket to hell in Horror Express. Starring Telly Savalas and those masters of horror, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Horror Express.
The monsters of science fiction are our dreaded companions, feared, haunted, and horrifying. They fill our imagination and dreams. Monsters from space, from the past and future, hidden monsters.
I'll kill you, alligator man! Just like I'd kill any four-legged gator!
Mad scientists and mutants, monsters too horrific to view, too frightening to accept, too real to imagine, all for our pleasure, our fright. All have been exposed for our excitement, our thrills, our horror.
I'm your host, Joey Travolta. Thank you for watching From Beyond.